In a quaint little village there lived a lovely little girl. She was merry and bright, and everybody in the village adored her. Her mother loved her very much, and she was her grandma's favorite too. Grandma made a fine riding hood in red for her darling granddaughter. The little girl wore it every day. Not surprisingly, everybody started calling her Little Red Riding Hood. One day, Red Riding Hood saw that her mother was baking. "Mother, are those pies that you're making today?" Red Riding Hood asked eagerly. "Yes, my dear, Grandma isn't feeling well, and I want you to take this basket with a pie and a pot of butter for her," said her mother. "Oh, I'll go at once." "Poor Grandma," said Red Riding Hood. So she set off immediately, wearing her bright red hood and carrying the basket carefully. Red Riding Hood's grandma lived in the next village, and the easiest way to get there was to take a shortcut through the woods. But in the woods there lived a wicked wolf. He saw Red Riding Hood coming his way and licked his lips as he made up his mind to eat her. Thud, thud. The wolf heard the sound of a woodcutter chopping wood in the distance, and was too scared to hurt Red Riding Hood just there. So the wolf waved to her merrily and said, "Hello, child. Where are you going on this lovely day?" Nobody had told Red Riding Hood that a wolf is a dangerous beast. She stopped walking and told the wolf, "I'm going to see my grandma in the village. I'm taking a pie and a pot of butter for her." "How sweet! Where does your grandma live, little girl?" asked the wolf. "She lives beyond the forest in the house near the mill," said Red Riding Hood. "Oh, I see. Would your grandma like some flowers, or how about some berries?" "You can pick both if you go by the path," the wolf said politely. Then he ran as quickly as he could to the house. Red Riding Hood spent some time picking flowers and berries, chasing after butterflies, and running after squirrels. "I must go to Grandma's house now," thought Red Riding Hood. She picked up the basket and set off. In the meantime, the wolf had reached the village and found Grandma's house. He knocked at the door. "Blim, blam, who is it?" a frail voice asked. The wolf said in a sweet voice, "Grandma, it's me, Little Red Riding Hood. Mother had sent a pie and some butter for you. Oh, my little darling, pull the rope to open the door and come in. It's been such a long time." Grandma called back. The wolf rubbed his hands in delight. He hadn't eaten in 3 days, and he was very hungry. He pulled the rope and opened the door. In a second, he jumped onto the bed and gobbled up Grandma whole. The wolf wanted to eat Red Riding Hood as well, so he got into Grandma's bed, dropped the blanket over him, and waited. "Blim, blam, who is it?" the wolf called out gruffly. "It's me, Red Riding Hood. I brought a pie and a pot of butter for you." "Why is your voice so hoarse, Grandma?" the little girl called out. It's nothing. I just have a bad cold. Come in, darling. The door is open, the wolf replied. Red Riding Hood flung the door open. Come sit beside me. I'd love to listen to your merry chatter, said the wolf. Red Riding Hood sat beside the wolf. Grandma, what big arms you have. All the better to hug you with, my dear. But Grandma, your legs are big too. All the better to run with, my child. Your ears, Grandma, why are they so large? All the better to hear you with, my child. Grandma, I don't remember your eyes being so big. All the better to see you with, my child. But Grandma, your teeth, they're so big and sharp. All the better to eat you up. Red Riding Hood screamed, but the wolf pounced on her and swallowed her up. It rubbed its tummy in satisfaction, but at the moment the door opened, a woodcutter looked inside. I heard a little girl scream, said the woodcutter. Then he saw the wolf's bulging tummy and caught the wicked creature by the tail. Boom! Bang! He cut the wolf's stomach open. Out jumped Red Riding Hood first. Then Grandma came out looking dazed. They were so glad to be free and hugged each other hard, and they didn't forget to thank the brave woodcutter either.
My dear, your grandmother is ill. Go and see how she's doing.
I will. Shall we make her favourite pie?
Great idea. She'll like that.
Will you help me make the pie for my grandmother?
To make the pie dough, add together flour, eggs, butter, sugar and milk in a bowl. Use a whisk to mix all the ingredients thoroughly. Our dough is ready. Now use a rolling pin to roll the dough out. Great! Now we need to put a filling into it. Grandmother loves pies with a raspberry jam filling. Now it's time to shape the pie. Let's make it round. Thanks for your help. Now all we need to do is put the pie in the oven. You must be careful in the forest, my darling.
Okay, Mum. What a wonderful day. The sun is shining and the birds are singing. I like to listen to them and guess which bird is singing. Do you want to try? Can you hear? What bird makes this sound? That's right, the owl is hooting. Owls usually sleep by day and hunt by night. I hear another bird. Which one is that? Yes, the crow is cawing. These clever birds can be taught to speak and even count up to 5. That's another bird. Which bird makes this sound? Good job! It's a sparrow chirping nearby. These birds have very short legs and sometimes hop along the ground in search of food. It won't be hard to guess this bird. Yes, it's a cuckoo. They don't build nests. Instead, they leave their eggs in other birds' nests. What noise is that?
Good day, girl. Where are you going all alone?
Hello, Wolf. I'm going to see my grandmother. She is ill. I'm taking her a pie and a pot of butter.
You know, if you take that path, you can gather a basket of flowers and ripe berries. Your grandmother will be happy.
Thank you, Wolf. They will do her good and she'll soon get better. We'll pick raspberries and cranberries. They help to fight colds and flu. And let's pick a bunch of flowers. This is a raspberry. This is a cranberry. These are daisies. These are bellflowers. We have gathered ripe berries and fragrant flowers. Now we need to hurry up to visit my grandmother.
So many leaves to pick up. I should pick them up, but I don't feel well. Will you help me? Great! It would be nice to fix the door. You need to find a door hinge and a handle. Thank you very much. I couldn't cope without your help.
While Little Red Riding Hood is gathering flowers, I have come to the grandmother's house. Now I need to get inside. How should I introduce myself?
Who is there?
It's me, the woodsman. I brought you some firewood.
Oh, thank you. Put it behind the house, please. Who is there?
It's me, the milkman. I'm delivering some fresh milk to you.
Thank you, my dear, but I took some milk yesterday. Who is there?
It's me, the baker. I brought you some fresh bread.
Thank you, but I have enough bread.
Nothing works. I'll pretend to be Little Red Riding Hood, and she will open the door.
Who is there?
Grandma, it's me, Little Red Riding Hood. I have brought you a pie and a pot of butter.
Oh, my dear, it's so nice that you came to see me. Pull the string and the door will open.
Good day, Grandma. Mum has sent you a pie and a pot of butter, and I have picked fresh berries for you.
Hello, my dear. Thank you for the goodies.
Oh, Grandma, what has happened? You look strange. Grandma, what big eyes you have.
All the better to see you with, my dear.
Grandma, what big arms you have.
All the better to hug you with, my dear.
Grandma, what big ears you have!
All the better to hear you with, my dear.
Grandma, what big teeth you have!
All the better to eat you with, girl.
Ah, help!
It seems someone has called for help. Help me to get to that White House. The axe is dull. I think the forester will be able to sharpen it. Thank you. I can move on now. Thank you. I'm here. Who is calling for help?
Save us!
I see what's happening here. Just you wait. I will catch you. Ow! Woo! Ouch!
Oh, thank you, Woodsman. You saved us.
He won't hurt you anymore.
The wolf turned out to be evil and cruel. Now I know to be more careful and never talk to strangers.
Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs who lived happily with their mother. They played together, ate and drank together, and the mother did everything she could to keep them safe and well. Then one day she said, "My dearest children, you have grown too big to live with me. You must now go into the big wide world and build your own homes." She hugged them all and said, "Work hard and beware of the big bad wolf who lives in the dark forest." "We will," replied the little pigs. They each kissed their mother before setting off to make their own way into the big wide world. On their journey, the 3 little pigs came to a sunny meadow. "This will make a beautiful place to live," said the first little pig. "Yes, it will," said the second. "Let's stay here and play." "No, no," said the third. "Winter is coming and we must work hard and build ourselves houses to keep us safe and warm." "Oh, winter is a long way away," said the first, as he shrugged his shoulders. "There is plenty of time," laughed the second. They both ran off to play in the warm summer sun. So the third little pig let his brothers play in the meadow and went to find materials to build himself a house. He had only gone a little way down the road when he met a man carrying some bricks and stones. "Please, sir," he said politely, "can you spare some bricks and stones? I want to build myself a house to keep me safe and warm through the winter." "Why, certainly," replied the man. The third little pig thanked him for his kindness and carried the bricks to a safe corner of the meadow, far away from the dark forest. Then he began to build his house. He dug a deep foundation and mixed up sand and cement to stick the stones and bricks together. The third little pig worked very hard with this. His two idle brothers played. "There's no need to work so hard," his two brothers teased him. "The sun is shining and winter is far away." But the third little pig had noticed that the leaves had begun to fall, and he continued working happily to build his house. "It takes a long time to build a strong brick house," he told his brothers. Soon the leaves on the trees were almost gone, and the second little pig began to think of the winter. "I must build myself a house before it's too late," he thought. "Don't go," said the first little pig. "Stay and play with me." But the second little pig looked up at the sky and saw the great clouds coming, so he left his brothers playing alone in the meadow and went to find materials to build himself a house. He had only gone a little way down the road when he met a man carrying some sticks. "Please, sir," he said politely, "can you spare some sticks? I need to build myself a house to keep me safe and warm through the winter." "Why, certainly," replied the man. The second little pig thanked him for his kindness. He carried the sticks to a corner of the meadow, just a little way from the dark forest. Then he began to build his house. He hammered and sawed the sticks and nailed them together. He worked quickly as he was worried that he would not be finished before the cold wind came. The first little pig continued to play in the autumn leaves, while his brothers were working to build their houses. Soon the third little pig's house was finished. It was well built, and the first little pig could see it had a thick oak door. He noticed a wisp of white smoke coming from its brick chimney. His brother had built a very strong house indeed. The first little pig felt a gust of cold wind whistle between his ears. "Oh dear," he said to himself, "I must build myself a house quickly before the cold snow comes." So the first little pig left the meadow and went to find materials to build himself a house. He had only gone a little way down the road when he met a man carrying some straw. "Please, sir," he said politely, "can you spare some straw, so I may build myself a house to keep me safe and warm through the winter?" "Why, certainly," replied the man. The first little pig thanked him for his kindness and carried the straw to the nearest corner of the meadow, closest to the dark forest. Then he began to build his house. He piled the straw into a heap and tied it together with string. He cut out a door and a window, and before long his house was finished. He crept inside to shelter from the cold. The winter soon came, and the big bad wolf shivered in the dark forest. "I must find food," he said hungrily. So he left the dark forest in search of something to eat. He followed the path which led to the meadow. To his surprise, he saw that 3 little pigs had built their homes there. You see, his favorite food was piggy pie, and he couldn't believe his good luck. "I shall catch them all one by one and eat piggy pie all winter long. Yum, yum," he said to himself. The nearest house to the dark forest was the one made of straw. The wolf licked his lips as he crept silently towards it. He slowly circled the house twice and then knocked on the door, saying, little pig, let me in." The first little pig looked out of his window and could see the big bad wolf standing there. "Oh dear," he exclaimed, trembling at the thought. No, by the hair on my chin, I shall not let you come in," he squeaked. "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down," growled the big bad wolf. But the little pig did not open his door. The big bad wolf huffed, and he puffed, and he blew, and the house made of straw came tumbling down. In a panic, the first little pig ran away as fast as his little piggy legs could carry him. The second little pig heard his brother squeals for help and opened his door to let him in. He locked it quickly as he saw that the big bad wolf was close behind. "Oh dear," he exclaimed, hugging his brother tightly. "We are both in danger. Now I shall have 2 piggies in my piggy pie." The big bad wolf thought greedily, "I shall catch them both and eat piggy pie all winter long. Yum, yum." The big bad wolf licked his lips as he crept silently towards the house made of sticks. He slowly circled the house twice, then he knocked on the door, saying, little pigs, let me in." The 2 little pigs trembled as they replied, No, by the hairs on our chin, we shall not let you in." "Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down," growled the big bad wolf. But the little pigs did not open the door. The big bad wolf huffed, and he puffed, and he blew, and the house made of sticks came tumbling down. In a panic, the 2 little pigs ran away as fast as their little piggy legs could carry them. The big bad wolf was close behind. The 3rd little pig heard his brother squeals for help. He opened his thick oak door to let them in. As soon as they were safely inside, he locked and bolted it securely. Do not be afraid, said the third little pig. You are safe here. Now I shall have 3 piggies in my piggy pie. The big bad wolf thought greedily, I shall catch them all one by one and eat piggy pie all winter long. Yum yum! The big bad wolf licked his lips as he crept silently towards the house made of bricks. He slowly circled the house twice and then knocked on the door, saying, little pigs, let me in." The 3 little pigs replied, no, by the hairs on our chins, we shall not let you in. Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down, growled the big bad wolf. But the little pigs did not open the door. The big bad wolf huffed, and he puffed, and he blew, and he puffed, and he huffed, and he blew, and he blew, and he huffed, and he puffed, and he huffed, until he'd puffed quite enough, but he still couldn't blow the house down. The 3 little pigs looked out the window and could see the big bad wolf lying on the ground, exhausted. Maybe he will leave us alone now and go back to the dark forest, said the first little pig. I hope so, said the second. The third little pig looked out of the window again and saw that the big bad wolf had gone. We shall see, he said cautiously, and he had a plan just in case he came back. Let us make a fire and boil a good big pot of water to make our supper, he said to his brothers. So they all set to work. Thank you for letting us share your home, said the second little pig. We promise we shall never be idle again, said the first as he put the pot of water on to boil. Soon they had a cheerful fire. The water began to bubble merrily, and the 3 little pigs felt safe and warm in the strong house made of bricks. Outside, the snow was just beginning to fall. White fluffy snowflakes tickled the big bad wolf's nose and made him very angry indeed. I shall find a way to catch those little pigs, he said hungrily. He too had a plan. As the 3 little pigs were each enjoying a delicious cup of hot cocoa, they heard footsteps on the roof. Could it be the big bad wolf? Yes, it was the big bad wolf. They could hear his gruff voice huffing and puffing. He was climbing towards the chimney, grumbling and slipping and sliding in the snow. Suddenly, they heard a rumbling noise as the big bad wolf came tumbling down the chimney. Then there was a terrific splash and a horrible howling as he landed in the pot of boiling water. Then suddenly, with a mighty howl, he leaped back up the chimney, rolled down the roof, and ran away. Oh dear! Exclaimed the 3 little pigs. What's a terrible thing to happen? We're out of danger now. It's good to feel safe and warm in a strong house, said the second little pig to his brothers, and they all laughed and went back to their cocoa. The big bad wolf went back to the dark forest, where he sat in a snowdrift to cool his bottom. I never really liked Piggy Pie anyway, he said miserably, and he was never seen in the meadow again.
Hello, brother. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking about building a house to keep me safe and warm. The winter will soon be here, and it will get very cold. It may even snow.
There's no need to work so hard, brother. The sun is shining and winter is far away. Come and play with us.
There's plenty of time to build a house. I will build mine before it gets too cold. Don't worry, brother. It's important to have a strong house, built with brick and stone walls to protect us from the wind, a well-tiled roof to protect us from the rain, and a thick oak door to keep us safe from intruders. Please, will you help me build my house? First, we shall need some bricks and stones to build the walls. Can you find any? The walls look good. They are straight and smooth. Well done. Now we need some wooden beams to support the roof. Almost done. We need to cover the roof with tiles.
The roof tile should be somewhere near the house.
We're safe inside the house. There's nothing to be afraid of now.
I built my house from straw. It's very soft and warm.
I've built a strong house of sticks. The wind won't blow my house down. What was that? Did you hear that noise?
I think it's the big bad wolf. He howled like that.
Oh dear, I'm afraid of the big bad wolf. He might eat us.
We must stay calm and hide in our houses.
You see, your house breaks up easily.
That's okay. I've plenty of straw. I'll fix it. You see, the problem is, your house isn't strong enough.
I'll be safe in my stick house.
I'll easily break your flimsy houses. I'll catch you all one by one and eat piggy pie all winter long. Yum, yum. I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow them all down. Will you help me? Are you ready to huff and puff? Take a big breath and blow.
Help me! Help me, brother! The wolf is going to eat me!
You're not escape. I can easily blow down your house of sticks. Oh dear, this house is too strong. I can't blow it down. Never mind. I have a very good plan.
Oh no! He's blown this house down too!
Quickly! We must run to our brother's house. He has built a strong house of bricks and stones.
Those little pigs keep running away. But not to worry. I'll catch them all one by one and eat piggy pie all winter long. Yum, yum. I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house down. Will you help me? Are you ready to huff and puff? Take a big breath and blow. Oh dear, this house is too strong. I can't blow it down. Never mind, I have a very good plan. The third little pig has built a very strong house. I can't blow it down. Never mind, I'll climb onto the roof and get in down the chimney. Ha ha ha! That's a good plan.
At last, the big bad wolf has gone.
We're out of danger now. It's good to feel safe and warm in a strong house.
I can't open the door. I'll have to think of something else.
Don't ever believe the big bad wolf. He wants to trick us. Listen, can you hear something? Quick, look out of the window.
Those little pigs won't know I'm on the roof. What a surprise they'll get when I come down the chimney. Ha ha ha!
I think he plans to come down the chimney. What shall we do now? Let's take the lid off the pot of boiling water. The big bad wolf won't like such a hot bath. We will teach him a good lesson, and he will not bother us again.
Oh, what a narrow, sooty chimney. Never mind. I'll climb down and I'll catch those little pigs. Ah! Oh! Ouch! Help! My bottom is burning. I'd better stay away from those little pigs in future. I never really liked piggy pie anyway.